Well, hello, and welcome to another lesson of the Focus on Storyblok course, and welcome to Friday. The weekend is here. Woohoo! I'm Marcelo Lewin, as always, the Headless Creator. You can get a hold of me right there, Marcelo at headlesscreator.com. Today we have Alba Solvente Fuentes. She's back for a third one, and I know it's our final one, but it's our final one that we put together. I hope she'll be back for more in the future, but for now it'll be the final one that she's here. She presented a whole bunch of topics. She's going to tell you a little bit about it, but today she's going to talk to us about how to create RSS feeds using Nuxt and Storyblok. So she's going to get into all of that. We're going to have a little conversation with her. You know how that works. But before we do that, go get your account at headlesscreator.com. I always say I'm shooting for 1,000 registered users. I no longer have to say that because 3 days ago I've reached and I surpassed it by a bunch. I think I'm at 1,020 users now. So I'm all excited. So now I'm shooting for 1,200 users by the end of the year. So go get your account, help me get there. And then you'll have access not only to this lesson on demand, but you'll have access to the actual entire course, Focus on Storyblok course. Which is obviously Alba's there, but a bunch of other presenters, and there's a bunch of topics in there. You're also going to have access to the other courses, all 100% free, including the Content Modeling Weekly course, which you all know I'm a content modeling geek. I love content modeling. I have 42 lessons in there and more coming up. The Discover Headless Tech course, and many other Focus on courses. So get your free account. It's, like I said, 100% free. Also, for those of you, today's the last day for the Jammies, the Jamstack Jammies Award. Please go nominate Headless Creator for the Best Content Creator Award. Please, 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 because I believe starting next week, they're going to open it up for voting, and then I will be begging for your vote. No, I won't be begging for your vote. Hopefully you'll do it without me begging. So, all right, that's it. So that's it for the marketing. You know how this goes. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to restart the intro because the on-demand version has absolutely no marketing whatsoever, and we'll get started on this lesson. So I'll see you in just 10 seconds. Well, hello, and welcome to another lesson of the Focus on Storyblok course. I am Marcelo Lewin, the Headless Creator. As always, get a hold of me right there, Marcelo at headlesscreator.com. Today, we're going to be talking about how to create an RSS feed using Nuxt and Storyblok, and the special guest presenter, she's back for the third time. It's Alba Solvente Fuentes, and I'm not going to tell you anything about her because you probably know all about her already. She's very popular on the web. She's all over, and she's been here many times. But I'm going to bring her in so we can have a further chat. So, Alba, welcome.
Hi.
I'm glad to have you here. Thank you.
Thank you.
This is your third time.
Yeah, the third lesson.
Hopefully not the final. We'll talk about more in the future. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. But thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. We had conversations on a bunch of stuff. Today, what I wanted to ask you on really is your opinion on developers that haven't worked with headless CMSs, regardless of the headless CMS. Is there a paradigm shift in their thinking that they have to go through, both for front-end developers and back-end developers? What do you have an opinion on that? What's your take?
Well, for front-end developers, I think it's quite easy at the moment because we all create mock in our components. When we are creating something, we mock the data that we expect from the REST API or a JSON that we expect to get. So I think it's quite easy to make the components in a Headless CMS because you just need to go and define what type of field we are defining, and you as a front-end know if it's an input or is an image. You already know it because you already create that component, so it's quite easy for you. And also just define the name that you already created in the mocked data. So I think for a front-end developer, it's quite easy to change to a Headless CMS because it's already doing it by themselves in the code. But for a backend developer, it's different because you can have been working with REST APIs, or you can have been working with another type of backend. So if you are get used to create controllers and models, maybe the model file is the one that you need to take into account when creating something in Storyblok or in any Headless CMS. But obviously it depends on your background, but I think it will be easier for a front end nowadays. But obviously in the coming years, it will be easier for backends too, because they
Because they're
don't
already
need
working with
to.
self-contained components. That's why it's so much easier for a front-end developer, right? The
Yeah,
concept
because
is there already.
yeah, because for a backend, maybe they are thinking in the functionality of any kind of, or the validation. They are thinking of more things that the a Headless CMS is ready for. But obviously, when you start using it, you start thinking also how to use it with all your own functions, mixing with the serverless function you have in the define and things like that.
But
So
what
you need
about
to
the?
split your
I'm
work.
sorry. Go ahead.
No, no,
Yeah,
that's
and
okay.
what about the idea of within a headless CMS, right? You have to separate content is separated from design. You don't store design with content. In the traditional CMS, you're storing everything together. It's got your HTML and everything. Do you think there is some sort of issue there? Are people like are developers expecting that layout and design to come with the content, or do you know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah,
with the
yeah.
headless, you're separating that completely.
Yeah, you are separately, but you have the whole control for the layout. So that's better, because in a theme on WordPress, if you are defining a theme, you need to connect with all the CMS things that are already created. In this case, you can define how the CMS will see, the content editors will see that component, and how you want to look and feel that one, separating on everything of the theme. So you are not so connected with the CMS. You are free to have more CMSs for different things in your own project. So I
So
never
it's
did
more
that,
natural. It's more
but
natural.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I think
No,
it's more
makes total
natural for
sense.
a developer.
Cool. Perfect. All right. We're ready for your lesson. I'm going to go ahead and show your screen now. So
Okay.
we'll go ahead and show your screen here. You know how it works. If you have any questions, put them in chat. I'll ask Alba as she's presenting. Alba, you know, if I have any questions, I'll jump in.
Okay.
But otherwise, it's all yours.
Perfect. Thank you. Well, first of all, I want to show you the demo I created for all the lessons we have seen in this course. The first one was improving web performance using the image CDN service that we have in Storyblok. Then I talk about Rss Storyblok field and how to make it look nicer with Tailwind. And today I will see with you how to create an RSS feed using Nuxt, but connecting with the Storyblok, obviously. And also you can have all these lessons in code and the repo itself for the website in the GitHub repo Headless Creator lessons I have in my profile. So you can just try to download and create your own space in Storyblok and have this website for you also. That's pretty funny. And now let's start with the RSS feed. First of all, I want to show you what is an RSS feed so you can understand what we are building it and what is important for you. So an RSS feed is known as a web feed file that is allowing the users and any automation tools to see what content of your website has been updated. For example, if you have a blog and you write articles, you want to show the articles to the people that you have in your community. So for that, you can use any automation tool for social media posting and just add the feed URL, and they will know when an article is pushed, so they can send a tweet, a LinkedIn post, or wherever with that article, because you are sending this data by the feed XML. So the use cases are automation, but you can do also newsletter or whatever you want to do with this RSS feed. So the RSS feed, the look and feel is an XML file basically that you can see the name of the RSS feed. For example, in this case, I'm showing the Storyblok lessons I created for that website, and also some data that you need to pass, for example the description, to explain better in the generator what are you sending. When you send, for example, a newsletter, you want to have more than an URL, a description or something that looks nicer. And also you have all the items that we will explain later how to create them in the RSS feed with the name of the article, the link to the article, in this case, a lesson from a course, because you can create the RSS feed for whatever you want. But in my case, I'm creating it for the lessons itself. So, and then the use case, if you are thinking of how you can do it by your own script that make the automation, or go to any platform that allows you to copy paste that URL. So for example, if I have this URL and I copy paste it, I can go to Daily Dev. Daily Dev is just reading all the feed XML from a lot of websites. For example, the Smashing Magazine or the React Live. So every time they push an article, the feed XML is updated, so they can just show here the article itself. And for example, they have a suggest new source button. When you click it, you can just add the feed URL here and send it. And if they approve it, the articles that you update to your website or the website that you recommend will appear here. So it's quite nice because you can